Let the record show that the regular Riverview City Council meeting was called to order on April 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. Will the clerk please take roll?
Councilmember Ganaga? Here. Councilmember O'Neill? Here. Councilmember Prey? Here. Councilmember Robbins?
Here.
Mayor Swift?
Here.
Councilmember Webb?
Here.
Councilmember Workman?
Let the record show that Councilman Workman is excused. Tonight we have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Webb and invocation by Councilwoman Ganaga. Will you please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, instead of our normal invocation, I would like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the passing of Pope Francis. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Jeff, any announcements?
Yes, Your Honor, we have recreation announcement, Mr. Ty Dickman.
Yeah, just wanted to let everyone know it's that time of year for spring cleaning, and our citywide garage sale is going to be coming up in 1 weekend from now, which is May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So you don't need a permit, you just need to set up and open up your sale. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
Okay, on a happy note, I do want to take a minute to acknowledge the birthday of our fire chief, Chief Owens. Give him a round of applause. Happy birthday. Great job, Chief. Also, and Councilman Ganaga already announced that the passing of Pope Francis today, so just keep him in your prayers. And also the passing of Coach Andy Zalewski, longtime Riverview teacher and rowing coach, died unexpectedly this past week, so kind of keep him and your family in his prayers. We have no awards and presentations tonight. 5-1, approve the minutes of the 4/7/25 regular Riverview Council meeting, the 4/14 special meeting, and the condensed version for publication. What's council's pleasure?
So moved. Support.
Motion by Councilman Prey, supported by Councilwoman Robbins. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Tonight we have no public hearings. Now is the time for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the mayor and council, please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. Try to keep your comments to 5 minutes. There is no sharing of time and no rebuttals. And please be respectful. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, City Council members, Mayor. My name is Linda Lamond. I have been a 24-year resident of Riverview. It's a beautiful place to live. I live at 19680 4th Street and Green Trees Apartments, and I've been in the same apartment for the last 24 years. I would like to tonight address an issue that hasn't yet been presented to the city, but if things keep going the way they are on a national level, it's a question we're going to wind up facing as a community, and you may wind up facing as council members. How do we, when we each take some kind of an oath that says, we swear to uphold the Constitution, that is, what is within the Constitution values, you swear as an officer of the council, as a mayor, chief of police, fire department, veteran. Each one of us has sworn one way or the other that we are going to uphold the Constitution of the United States. It seems lately that some of the federal level people no longer hold to that. And I'm wondering, when you have third graders that are getting handcuffed and pulled out of their third grade classes because ICE believes that they're illegal immigrants. I sat in a doctor's office and watched a family of 3 so nervous because across the street, 2 Border Patrol agents had pulled in their cars. They didn't know. English was not their first language, and that was obvious. I kept looking to see if they were just going in to get something to drink or what. And when I sat back down and I looked at them and I said, oh, they left. You could see them visibly relax. This is not how we are supposed to be as citizens of the United States. This is supposed to be a country of freedom, accountability, but freedom. Also, when you have a situation where we have methane production within the city, it could be federalized. If for some reason or other the federal government felt that they needed that to go against our own citizens and violate posse comitatus, we could actually see at some point in time military in our streets, like we're seeing happen in so many other countries. And I'm wondering if it's possible to have some kind of a resolution at the council level that says, we will follow the Constitution. That's what we swore to uphold. Why cannot we have some kind of mutual coalition with our neighboring cities and towns? The universities, the Big Ten, have put a mutual defense pact together that if one of them is attacked, such as Harvard was, that they would each come to the defense of the other one. What happens if Riverview gets targeted? Can you count on Taylor or Lincoln Park or Trenton to say, hey, wait a minute? You know, we're all downriver communities. We all have people that we have sworn to protect and try to make their life as best as it can be within the realm of our duties. That's why we're in the council. That's why we've become mayor, or police chief, or fire chief. We're all in service in one way or the other, or have been if we've been in the Army or Air Force or Navy. What kind of resolution can be put in place now before it becomes some kind of a crisis point? When people have clearer heads because they're not under the gun wondering what we're going to do now because it's now a crisis. We need to have something in place that says, why not a downriver coalition? I know we have it with the libraries. Is it among school districts? Do you have some kind of downriver coalition that somebody here would be interested in looking into to defend our own community? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Ken Kyleman, 20243 Coachwood. Thank you for an open forum where many, many different opinions can be expressed peaceably. On January 6th of this year, the council unanimously approved a motion made by Councilman Workman to direct the administration to cease and desist its efforts to expand the landfill, an action that I heartily agree with. However, I became concerned when at the February study session, Councilman Workman stated, I think we should look at canceling the landfill committee. He mentioned that there weren't any more projects other than the leachate system and the landfill was shutting down. There was a brief discussion about what steps would be necessary to end the committee between three of the council members and the attorney, and the mayor suggested that the city manager add the item to a future meeting for consideration. And I hope I accurately represented what took place at that meeting. Looking back, I believe that every landfill committee meeting scheduled since the vote was taken on January 6 has been canceled due to the lack of agenda items. Yet, the council has taken up or will take up numerous important issues related to the landfill since then. There have been many items brought up at council meetings and study sessions related to the landfill that previously would have been discussed at the landfill committee meeting prior to the council's consideration, giving the council members access to important information and insight. At the January 20 council meeting, there were 5 items on the consent agenda related to the landfill. And consent agenda items, as you know, are items for which there is no need for discussion because there is agreement that the items were routine and non-controversial, needing no explanation. Was that true of all those items? It seems to me that the City Council's responsibility to properly consider these matters should have been handled at the Landfill Committee meeting, attended by the Council's representatives. At the February 10 study session, there were 2 major landfill items considered. At the February 18 Council meeting, there was an additional 6 items related to the landfill on the consent agenda. At the March 3rd Council meeting, there were 2 more items related to the landfill on the consent agenda. And the March 10 study session and March 17 Council meeting, the purchase of a rental bulldozer was dealt with that would previously have been discussed by the committee. At a recent meeting, I don't recall whether it was a budget review or the last study session, the seemingly ever-changing status of the leachate project was briefly discussed, but has not been an item of consideration for the council in a while, and its current status has not been before the public in any meaningful detail. And tonight's agenda has 2 items that previously would have been discussed at the Landfill Committee, giving the council and the public exposure to the items before they come before all the council members. Has the Landfill Committee been in effect canceled without the action of the council? To suggest that the Landfill Committee is no longer needed does not seem to square with the amount of activity that in the past would have been handled at that meeting, not to mention the other valuable information that was communicated at those meetings to the council members in attendance and the public. In my opinion, the landfill is the single most visible and controversial thing that our city deals with, and it needs to be handled with total transparency and meticulous care. Shutting down the committee will not contribute to either of those goals. In conclusion, the Landfill Committee serves a vital role in overseeing what is both our city's largest asset and liability. Its final years of operation and eventual closure and care need to be handled effectively and responsibly. The committee must continue its work for the benefit of our community and future generations. If a council member serving on the committee feels that it is no longer of use, maybe they should give up their seat on the committee for someone rather than calling for the committee to cease to exist. Give it up for someone who believes in its ongoing importance. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none. We have no organizational business tonight. We do have a few items on the consent agenda. I will go, is there any item council wants removed from the consent agenda first? Okay. I will read the list, and then I'm going to go back because there are at least one of them I do want to read the backgrounds on. 9.1, presentation of certified special assessment district tax roll by the clerk to the city council. 9.2, approve special events application from Grace Point Church to hold Grace Point Night Market on the church property on Saturday, June 7th, 2025. 9.3, approve special events application from Grace Church to hold a National Day of Prayer event in Young Patriots Park on Thursday, May 1st, 2025. 9.4, approve special events application from Motor City Radio Club for AARL Field Day in Young Patriots Park on June 27th, 28th, and 29th. Excuse me. 9.5, authorize execution of agreements between the City of Riverview and the Riverview Baseball Softball Association for the use of the ball diamonds, maintenance, and operations of Lloyd Carr Park concessions. 9.6, authorize execution of addendum extending agreements for Atmos Technologies and KSM Solutions for odor control supplies and equipment. So before I ask for a motion, I do want to go back, excuse me, and read the background on 9.1, the presentation of certified special assessment district tax roll by the clerk to the city council. The city council to receive from the clerk the proposed special assessment district tax roll, to review and order the proposed special assessment roll to be filed with the city clerk for public examination, and call for a public hearing to receive comments on proposed special assessment levy roll. The cost estimates for the police protection public safety special assessment for the Riverview Police Department have been prepared and shared with the council and filed with the city clerk. For purposes of funding these costs and expenses, the city council has created a special assessment district pursuant to Michigan Public Act 33 of 1951 as amended, against which the estimated costs and expenses will be assessed. The special assessment District will encompass all the lots and parcels of land located within the city of Riverview. Let me see if there's another one I wanted to read. Okay, that's it. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman O'Neill, supported by Councilman Robbins. Before I ask for a roll, I do want to make a few comments on 9.2 and 9.3, the special events from Grace Church and Grace Point Church. They're two great community partners looking to put on events in their city. One coming up pretty quick, May 1st, is the National Day of Prayer, which will be at Young Patriots Park starting at 12 noon. It's going to be a really nice event. The other one is the night market on June 7th. And that's it. So what's council's, roll call, please.
Councilmember Pray. Yes. Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
All right, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. 10.1, adopt resolution to call for a public hearing on May 5th, 2025 for comments on proposed special assessment roll. I'll read the background on this too. On March 24th, 2025, the City Council pursuant to the City Charter and ordinances set forth its intent to undertake the establishment of a special assessment for police protection, public safety for Riverview Police Department, and authorized and directed the city manager to prepare cost estimates for the police protection and safety for the Riverview Police Department for the purchasing of police motor vehicles, apparatus, equipment, and to defray the cost of maintenance and operations, including personnel of the police department. The cost estimates have been prepared and shared with the City Council and filed with the City Clerk. For calculation purposes, 2024 millage rates were used to determine the dollar amount. The $2 million amount is an estimate subject to the final amount completed by the City Assessor by March 31st, 2025. For purposes of funding these costs and expenses, the city has created a special assessment district pursuant to Michigan Public Act 33 of 1951. As amended, against which the estimated costs and expenses will be assessed. The special assessment district will encompass all lots and parcels of land. A public hearing was held on April 14th, 2025 to allow comments on the estimated costs and the creation of the special assessment district. Following the public hearing, Council approved the establishment of the Special Assessment District for 5 years and authorized and directed the assessor to prepare the proposed special assessment roll and present it to the clerk. After the creation of the Special Assessment District, the City Council will annually determine the amount to be assessed for police protection, public safety services. And after holding a public hearing, may assess all of this cost in future years. The next step is for City Council to receive from the clerk the proposed special assessment roll, review the proposed special assessment roll, and order the proposed special assessment roll be filed with the city clerk for public examination and call for the public hearing to receive comments on the proposed special assessment roll. The full proposed special assessment roll is on file at the clerk's office for public inspection. So anybody wants to see it can come by the clerk's office and they can see how it affects them. With that, what's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman O'Neill, supported by Councilman Robbins. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Councilmember Pray.
11.1, approve contract and award 5-year bid to Hydro Corp for residential and commercial cross-connection control backflow prevention inspections not to exceed $256,592.27 over the 5-year contract period. What's council's pleasure?
Discussion.
Councilman Webb.
In the background, it's stated that backflow checks would be done on residentials even if the homeowners do not have an irrigation system. Can we get some explanation on that, and what would is there any cost involved to the residents for that inspection?
Jeff.
Your Honor, I'll have Jeff Webb, the DPW Director, answer that.
So no, there is no cost to the residents. This is a company that's a turnkey company that takes care of all of this as far as handling the letters that go out to residents, the database, the report that's due at the end of the year. This is something that Eagle is really pushing hard to make sure that all cities are making an effort to do a backflow inspections of all homes and businesses.
Just a follow-up question, if I may.
Go ahead.
So that'd be all homes, even if you do not have an irrigation system, would be checked for backflow,
That is correct.
which would require entry into the home for that as well?
It would.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Is there support or motion?
Question on that.
All right.
Is this the same as the state where you, it's a pretty quick fix? Like if you had a sprinkler system that's not in use, it's like 2 cuts, cap it, solder it, it's done?
Right.
Is there a reason that if that's taken care of, that
The
anyone
inspections
would
are,
have to enter a
from what I
home if they
understand,
didn't?
mostly voluntary. The
Okay.
company just hands out literature. They would come down and look in the utility room, and then they mostly would just hand out some paperwork and a couple backflow preventers for hose bibs, and that's about it. If you have a sprinkler system, they'll look at that.
Because I know there's a lot of residents, you'll be hard pressed to find them home or available, you know, so.
Well, this company sends out literature. They also have a website where you can sign up for inspections. They'd be happy to come in and talk to city council about how the program works as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, what's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Ganaga, supported by
Support.
Councilman Webb. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill. Yes. Councilmember Prey. Yes. Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
11.2, award cooperative bid purchase of one 2024 Ford F-250 4x4 pickup truck, excuse me, to Gorno Ford in the amount of $62,269. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman O'Neill, supported by Councilman Prey. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Councilmember Prey. Yes. Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes. 11.3, award bid 2557 for spring 2025 gas collection and control systems well drilling construction project to DNR Earth Moving for $215,000 and $215,022.48. What's council, plus 5% contingency for a total of $225,773.60. What's council's pleasure?
Discussion, Your Honor.
Councilman Webb.
I just wanted to say I support Mr. Coleman's comments about the landfill commission, or advisory group. But one of the reasons why I say that is because the gas collection system and the improvements and the costs all related to that, which seems to be solely on the back of Riverview, council members have brought up in discussion about working with DTE to pay some of the costs for these improvements. And I was just wondering, if we're not having the landfill meetings to discuss this, then can we get an update on where we're at with those discussions with DTE?
Jeff.
Your Honor, to Mr. Webb, the contract was written in the past that does not include these gas well drilling projects to be covered. That was out of our royalties in the operation of the landfill. And so that was bargained in the MMBTU rate. So contractually, they're not responsible for any reimbursement of these gas well drillings.
Not without renegotiating the contract.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a follow-up question or maybe observation then. We've touted 1.2 million coming in from the RNG plant. Would that then be minus the cost of the line installation, which we're looking for a total award of $225,000?
Your Honor, if we had the gas plant or not, we'd have to have these well drilling projects. These well drilling projects are not only to get good gas to the RNG plant, but it also is to help with odor control. So without these wells drilled, we'd have odor issues with Eagle.
I guess the question still remains, though, is it a fair assessment to look at it with the proceeds or the profit that we're making, that it would be minus the cost of collecting that gas for DT?
Your Honor, you could look at it that way. All the royalties are recorded in revenue, and all the operating expenses are recorded in an operating expense. So you could net the two, but without the revenue, the royalties, we would still have these costs. And I guess that's what I'm getting at. This is a normal cost. First year that I was at the landfill, we were quite behind. We did 1.2 million in drilling because of the odors. And now we're able to keep it on a scheduled, and I know that the landfill director, Mr. Kugelman, would like to keep it around $500,000 a year. This year, he is well underneath that. We budget about $500,000 a year for these drilling costs.
So I'll just finish by saying I do understand the importance of the gas wells and the improvements in them, that there are, breaks in them that need to be repaired, they need to be moved, et cetera, expanded, and the importance of controlling the gas odors so that we maintain, quality of living not only for our residents but the surrounding communities. I would just like to ask that we find a way to start negotiating with DT. It sounds like this is a perpetual contract that we may not have the opportunity, but I think we should find a way going forward to negotiate this so the cost is not solely on our residents or taken away from our gas royalties. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Ganaga, supported by
Support.
Councilman Robbins. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Councilmember Prey. Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
We have no ordinances. Now, on other business, Councilman Prey.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to waive Section 13 of the purchasing manual to allow members on the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority to attend a luncheon hosted by W.F. Wheelan on April 23rd in conjunction with a site visit of their facility.
Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Councilman Webb. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Councilmember Prey.
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Yes.
Okay, to get to the first guest and visitor comment about, I'll call it a partnership or cooperation or whatever with the fellow downriver communities. We partner with several of the communities through, well, 3 different ways. One, we have partnerships with the Downriver Community Conference. With them, we work on many items that are common to all the communities downriver. We also work through SEMCOG for the larger region issues, either political or environmental, those types of things. And also, you talk about being attacked. Hopefully, we don't get attacked, but we are part of mutual aid where other communities come down to help each other when they're in times of emergency. So I think we have all those bases covered. Obviously, we don't interfere or interject with the federal issues, but we take care of our own the best we can. Now, to Mr. Kyleman's comments about the landfill and the landfill committee, several of the items that he did pointed out, they're big items. There's no arguing that, but a majority of them are routine items. This gas billing project, we have that every May, I believe. So it's kind of a regular thing, and the rest are, and they're not small purchases. They're big purchases, but they're required. And my impression would be that any issue that would come up can actually, instead of going through the landfill committee, that would mean the members of the landfill committee, the way I look at it, have to go through this process twice. So instead of doing that, and to be more transparent, we bring it up at the council level. That way the entire council has all the same information at the same time. because we get accused of, we know something that, you know something I don't know. So we're all informed at the same time, and I think it's a better way of communication. Now, since the landfill committee has not been dissolved, if there's some future thing that has to come, but it's an ad hoc committee. You're supposed to meet when you have items that you need to discuss. So I'm sure at some point discussion will take place on final use of the landfill, what final steps we have to take to close it. But those are big items. They might be better addressed in study sessions with the whole council as opposed to breaking it up in smaller pieces. So it just, and obviously the study sessions are all televised. So, that way we can be more transparent of what's going on. Public can see the entire discussion where the landfill committees aren't televised. So unless somebody, Jeff or any councilman wants to add to that.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Kylman also referred to a wastewater treatment plant. We are in the midst of that, and that I know that was brought to a study session, and it will be brought to future study sessions because this is quite a large project to treat for PFAS, and we are going to be bringing a lot of those components to the study session in May, for sure, because we have to be compliant in May of 2026, so it gives us just 13 months to get it done, and so, we'll be talking about that a lot, so.
Okay.
And Mayor, I do agree, the gas well drilling, that happens every year. The odor control, that's been happening for the last 5 years, every year. Anything unique, we'll bring to the study session, and all of council can hear it for the first time together, and we can talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I know Mr. Kugelman has done that, and he will continue to do that on the big items, bring it to the study session.
Great. Any further comment or other business?
I had one question, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Robbins.
I was looking over the agenda this weekend, and one of my daughters was a little curious. Hey, what are you doing? Yada, yada. So I read off just a couple of the little things in the approvals, and she asked me a question about one of the churches that is having their market on their property. And she asked if it's on their grounds, why do you guys have to approve it? And I kind of went back and forth, and I said, sweetheart, I'm not exactly sure, so I'm going to have to ask, because I felt silly that I got bested by a 12-year-old. But, so I just wondered if there was a short answer on that, so I can go home. She's probably watching to make sure I asked.
Well, I'll give you my answer, and then you can make sure if it's right or not. The reason they do that, because they usually have a really good turnout, and there might be points where they have such a good turnout, they may require parking on Grange Road. And then, I'm sure, and they have food trucks and all this stuff there. So it's they're going to have a lot of people in the same place at the same time. So they just want to make sure that the city's aware of what's going on. And then if some special assistance is needed, even though I think they said they didn't need any, at least we're aware of it. And if parking is needed on Grange Road, or, some special, cover the no parking signs, whatever, that's why they do that.
That makes
Agreed, Mayor.
all the sense.
And also, a lot of times they'll do that so that we can notify the police if they need assistance with traffic control, getting people in and out of the parking lots.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's supposed to get free advertising for it, so.
That was kind of one of the things I gave, and I said that's definitely not the reason why, so I appreciate the time.
Yeah, and it just proves too, I think, that we try to build partnerships with everybody, businesses, churches included, and those two churches really stick out as being great community partners. So thank you for the question. With that, I'll look for a motion.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilman.
I apologize. I just wanted to echo your sentiments earlier about Andrew's family. I just wanted to say publicly that he touched a lot of lives in the city of Riverview. My son was devastated when he found out. He was a great, great guy. My son had the good fortune of going through not only elementary, middle school, but high school. Just a terrific guy, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family. That's all.
Yeah, he's going to be well missed. He's been a teacher for a long time. Actually, my son had him for a rowing coach. So, and he was a Kiwanian for a short period of time. So yeah, he'll be missed. So just keep his entire family in your prayers, if that's all right.
Could I mention something, Mayor? I'd like to
Sure, I think you can.
thank Todd Dickman and the Recreation Department for the Hibbity Hoppity Easter Stroll, even though the weather didn't really cooperate as well as we had hoped. It was a great event, and I know my two organizations enjoyed attending, so thank you for your efforts and everybody else from the city that participated.
That's great. And Todd, why don't you give us the 20,000-foot view of how the event went?
The event went really well. We did have about 25, 26 groups, organizations, businesses out passing things out to the children. We do believe there was approximately 325 children that came through with many adults with them. So the only thing was, the only time we got rain on Saturday was between 11 and 12, same time as our event. But it didn't stop people. The groups were out, the people were out, and that was great. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that was a part of it to make it such a good event. Thanks.
Yeah, it was another great community event. He said it was a really good turnout. The parking lot was packed the whole time. Before you started, the line went from the gazebo to long past the library up Riverview Veterans Drive, and everybody seemed to be in a good. Even as rotten as the weather was, the community was in really good spirit. So thank you, Todd. It was a great event. Anything else? Now I'll look for a motion to recess into closed session to discuss pending litigation with legal counsel pursuant to MCL 15.2681C. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Ganaga, supported by
Support.
Councilwoman O'Neill. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Prey? Yes. Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Let the record show that we recessed at 7:37, and I believe that means we're coming back, right?
We're coming back.
All right. Let the record show that we reconvened at 8:18. Will the clerk please take roll?
My apologies.
All right.
Councilmember Robbins,
Here.
Mayor Swift.
Here.
Councilmember Webb.
Here.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Here.
Councilmember O'Neill. Here. Councilmember Prey.
Randy.
Your Honor, may I recommend a motion to concur with the legal strategy discussed with the attorneys for the city in the closed session this evening?
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Ganaga, supported by
Support.
Councilwoman O'Neill. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Swift.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill. Yes. Councilmember Prey.
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
With that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn from Councilwoman O'Neill.
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill. Yes. Councilmember Prey.
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes. Let the record show we adjourned at 8:19. Thank you, everybody.